Good evening. It is my privilege to welcome you to the 21st ceremony for the presentation of the St Ignatius Award. This year's 3 honorary recipients will join the previous 73 honorees who have been recognized by their alma mater. This award is, as has been previously mentioned, is the highest honor bestowed on a graduate of BC High, which acknowledges those who have exemplified the ideals of our school through high moral character and selfless service to the community. Tonight, we also present for the second time the Shields Medal to a non-BC High graduate in recognition of his or her services, dedication, and generosity to BC High. The first recipients of this medal were Tom and Mary Shields. And the medal has been named in their honor. To select the recipients of these awards tonight is a very difficult task, because any one of those nominated could have been chosen. Each honoree will be presented with a plaque and a lapel pin. The plaque states, Boston College High School proudly presents the St Ignatius Award to William J. Driscoll, Class of 01, whose generous giving of his time and talents to those in need embodies the Ignatian ideal of service to others for the greater glory of God. A.M. D.G. December 7th, 2012. Tonight, first recipient is William J. Driscoll Jr. from the class of 2001. He will be presented by his classmate, Daniel A. Vannoni. Daniel.
Thank you, Dr. Dunn. So when people ask me what I do, I tell them I'm an entrepreneur. It's actually a career choice if you don't believe that. And they usually ask me, well, what does that actually mean? What I tell them is, an entrepreneur is someone who recognizes a need and takes the action and usually the risk associated with it to fill that need for society. By that definition, tonight we're honoring an entrepreneur. Bill Driscoll Jr. is an entrepreneur. And tonight we're here to recognize his efforts. Bill's always had a passion for images and video, and ultimately it was the images of Hurricane Katrina that told Bill a story of need, inspired him to take action, pull together volunteers, and found Persevere Disaster Response, a group focused on organizing these volunteers to help clean up after natural disasters. Bill continued to see a need outside the Gulf Coast, and soon combined his efforts with hands-on disaster response, an international organization focused on the same mission. Bill can be found all over the world helping clean up after floods in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, or after tornadoes in Yasville, Arkansas, or even after earthquakes in Peru. The more Bill saw need, the more he got involved. Bill is currently the executive director of Nahama Jewish Response for Disaster, transforming this small nonprofit into a well-functioning machine with a clear vision of helping people in need. He also serves on the National Voluntary Organizations Active in Disaster Response Board. Bill, can you work on that name change for me? His efforts and inspiration and leadership have touched the lives of thousands around the world. That's a reach any entrepreneur could only dream to have. But tonight, I want you to see Bill through my eyes and see what it is that makes him such a great man for others. I could stand here and tell you many stories about Bill and different interactions we've had over the years. But tonight, I want to engage you the same way that Bill was engaged after Hurricane Katrina, and let images tell the story for me. Tonight, I want you to see how this man for others goes out every day and works for the greater glory of God. Take a look.
We had a meeting and said for all of us to look around and witness what we saw, because we didn't know that things would be the same tomorrow.
I'm Bill, and I'm the new guy. I started in this line of work as a volunteer after Hurricane Katrina. Hi, Bill here with Nahama. We're in Hoboken, New Jersey. In West Liberty, Kentucky.
Hi, this is Mark McGilvery, BC High, class of 2001. When Hurricane Sandy hit, I called to see where Bill would be and told him I'd go by his side. That said, I'm currently serving under Bill's incredible leadership as a disaster response field team leader out on Long Island.
I cannot thank you enough for coming in and immediately helping us to begin the rebuilding process. We're so grateful.
Thank you, Bill! Thank you, Bill.
I believe that healing the world matters, and that everyone can make a difference.
So you can see why, for me, this is an extreme pleasure to introduce to you someone who's a fellow classmate of mine and a good friend, Mr. Bill Driscoll Jr.
Thank you very much. I didn't expect that video. That was tough to sit through. I get emotional sometimes. After working long hours, we're currently out in New York, New Jersey working. And I heard some of the mumbles as I walked up. You know, people saying this guy looks pretty young. He's probably going to quote the Kennedys 1,000 times. And yeah, you might be right. But Father Connolly, Mr. Kameza, Mr. Hughes, Mr. McGonigal, Dr. Dunn, Jesuit community this year, fellow honorees, distinguished guests, graduate students and guests at BC High. Thank you for having me. I'd first like to congratulate the other recipients here tonight. It's an honor to be in your company and that of the previous St Ignatius Award winner recipients, including my uncle Paul Driscoll, who's here as well. I thank the committee for their support and recognition for bestowing this great honor upon me. And most importantly, those that worked hard to make this event possible, and my classmates, Dan, Keith McGilvery, Mark McGilvery, Kevin Broom, Kevin Collins, and many others for believing in me and nominating me, along with a whole host of former teachers of mine, including Mr. Bill Burke, Barbara O'Brien Miller, Mike McGonigal, and others that I'm sure I'd be happy to know about that remain anonymous. I'm standing here tonight. This is extra fun because it's kind of a full circle event. More than 10 years ago now, I was in McNeese Pavilion for a breakfast, and at the time, at the table with us was Paul Driscoll, who was the graduate. My dad was there, didn't go to school, but I was the only student at the time, and now tonight I've got Matt Driscoll, PJ Driscoll, Paul Driscoll, my brother John, all graduates of BC High, so it's kind of fun. To my fellow honorees, I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not, but our names will now be listed as prominent alumni on the BC High website. Now there are several of my former teachers and classmates here in attendance tonight, and I'm sure this is both a source of pride, hilarity, and perhaps troubling because they knew me back when. But on the other hand, I actually was a student of Bill Canada's, Mr. Hughes, and Mike McGonigal, to name a few. So now they're the head honchos around here, but I knew you guys back when. There are also a whole host of other men and women from others that are here tonight. And I'd ask them to stand for a second. They are the folks that, at the time as a student, I thought were out to get me. Later, I've learned, and as I've matured over the years, that they were actually men and women for others for themselves, teaching future men for others. And those are the faculty and staff that are here tonight. If you could stand, please, and be recognized. These are some of the folks that help shape me and help shape people every day here with your support, and I want to say thank you as well. It's a total team effort, and as I've matured even beyond that with BC High, I've come to realize things over the years, and I'm sure you have as well. I want to talk to you about how what I see my job being day to day right now, and that the work of the town means comfort and ease with the group that I work for now. I see us having two sets of constituents. Community members that are affected by disaster, those that need our help, and then also the volunteers that come out and do the work. We support them so they can help the folks that need it. And I want to tell you a specific story that kind of breaks down why I do this. Very soon after I started working after Hurricane Katrina as a volunteer, I started leading tree removal teams on the Mississippi Gulf Coast for trees that had fallen on houses or around houses. And one day, I was fortunate enough, and actually for a week's time, to have a fellow volunteer join me by the name of Mary McConaughey. Now, Mary McConaughey is about my size. She is a power lifter, and you could see that she was a very strong woman. We were lifting, no exaggeration, probably 200 and 300 pound chunks of tree that had been cut up, and throwing them over a fence so that they could get hauled away and taken away by the trash trucks. And we're high-fiving each other, having a great time, because you have a real camaraderie with people when you do volunteer work. And in conversation, I asked her why she came down, why she wanted to be a volunteer. And she said, Bill, I had a choice to make. I skipped a part. In conversation, it came out that she was a 10-time world champion arm wrestler. To give you, again, a sense of how strong she was. And she said, I had a choice to make. I could be strong for 10 seconds for myself, or strong for a week for somebody else. She skipped a chance at an 11th World Championship to volunteer that week. And it's people like that. Those are the people I want to support. That's one of my constituencies to work for every day. To provide the infrastructure, the tools, the place to work, the place to sleep and lay their head at night, to get back out there and help those that need it, to stand by them in their time of need. Now, there are of course many people to thank tonight, and I can't go through them all, but I would not be here and be able to do this work every day without the love and support of my wife, my family and friends, and the lessons I learned from the great teachers and coaches at BC High. Now, I was going to take issue with the golden age. We had quite a football team that I was a part of at one time. But then you started talking about the academic side of things, and I don't help that picture at all. But many of the values that I carry with me each day were first realized here in the classrooms, in the halls hallways and at the fields of BC High. The phrase "men for others" and that preparation for us to go out into the world and do good things is unparalleled. And for that, for the teachers, the donors that support it, and for the incredible leadership team that, again, has created this golden age, I say thank you. On a personal level and a communal level, the world is changed through small acts. And whether your support for someone else and your act on their behalf is simple or complex, I think that President Kennedy's statement of purpose said it best. One person can make a difference, and everyone should try. Thank you for being here tonight, and more importantly, for what you've done for others and for BC High. I look forward to our collective good works in the future for the greater Lord. Thank you.